Good morning, I'm Joe Vodvarka with this weather update. And believe it or not, I'm doing this update because we have the threat of more wintry weather. We have the threat of a late winter snow event next Monday. This past Monday that just passed, we had warm weather. It was 50s and 60s, even down in Delaware got near 70s. And Tuesday, I did record a temperature of 70 degrees here. Now we have to look towards next Monday as winter has come back. You saw today was brutally cold. We have winds gusting to 30 miles per hour. Temps in many areas didn't get out of 20s. Wind chills in some cases stayed in the teens. Last night, winds in some places gusted as high as 60 miles per hour. Yeah, this has been an incredibly crazy March. And despite that we had the warm up this past week, today really took levels back down today. It really took standards back down today. We're probably now back to around 8 degrees below average. We were 11 degrees below average before, but now we're back to 8 degrees below average. And I think by next Monday, we're going to be back to 11 degrees below average. Yes, it's going to be 60 degrees on Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful day. But then a cold front's going to come through late in the day. And on Sunday, it's going to be cold again. It's going to be cold out. And then Monday, it's going to be cold enough for snow. Heck, we might struggle to get to 33 degrees on Monday. Yes, that's right. Struggle to get to 33 degrees when our average high should be 50 degrees on Monday in Philadelphia. Now let's take a look at the computer models. First off, here's the NAM model, which just came in about 2 hours ago. Nothing impressive to look at yet. Here's that cold front that will come through on Saturday. Now you're starting to see a little bit of moisture out here in the southwest. That's part of a short wave that's ejecting from the southern stream in the classic area for any bigger size storms, and they usually carry a lot of moisture when they're coming out of that area. Now you're starting to see moisture gather over Texas on the NAM model, and it's continuing to gather. And now we even have thunderstorms underneath an area of low pressure that's starting to become well organized over Arkansas. This area of low pressure is going to continue to come northeast, and look right here. Now we're down to 997 millibars. Here's the warm air at the surface. There's the colder air at the surface. Anytime you get the colder air and the warm air clashing like that, you get a strong area of warm air advection. This wouldn't be what causes it. It wouldn't be the surface temperatures. It would be the 850 millibar temperatures up around 10,000 feet that cause that. So the moisture continues to come northeast. And yeah, now we're starting to get into some light snow here early Monday morning. Now it's getting moderate. And perhaps that blue, yeah, that's heavy snow. By this time frame, Monday morning at the morning commute, there's already 4 to 8 inches from southwest Pennsylvania on back to New York City. This is the most extreme solution right now for the part 1 of this event, because if you look closely, you still got 999 millibar low down here around Georgia and Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina, with energy on the back side of this, which would then translate to a part 2, which would give even more snow than part 1 if this was to go out further. This is just one solution. We have a lot of other models that we do look at, and we do have the Global Forecasting System model, which is not a mesoscale model like the NAM model here is, and we'll go take a look at the Global Forecasting System, which just came in. And I do have some concerns about the GFS, and I'm not saying the GFS is right, I'm not saying the GFS is wrong, but more than half the time, what it's showing tonight doesn't make any sense. And as you can see here, there's the cold front for Saturday. As you get low over the lakes, the front will be draped across here, across southwest Pennsylvania, on back into the Tennessee and Ohio Valley. We're going to advance this a little bit further. As you can see here, the moisture is starting to come into the southwest with the energy. Now you'll see there's some moisture starting to blossom over Texas, and a fairly decent amount of moisture at that too. And behind that, there's the area of low pressure. And this would be essentially down here in Texas is where our energy is located. And it does close off, which means, because the fact it closes off so soon, it gets left behind. Plus, if I back this up, look at that convective area. When you get a strong convective area like that, it's going to tend to slow down a little bit. But you still get a decent low under it. And watch what happens. We still get a solid hit off the GFS model. I mean, the American model here is still putting out a solid hit for Philadelphia area. Here is Sunday night around 8 p.m., 9 p.m., because we just had the daylight savings time, so 0C is now 9 p.m., I believe. And you can see we have light snow that moves in. Then it turns moderate by midnight. And it does stay moderate for a little while over Philadelphia and even up to New York City. They get some steady snow. And after that, it just stays steady over Philadelphia for a while. Steady, the light snow, right on into the morning commute. And we get a solid 4 to 8 inches once again on the global forecasting system. Some localized areas get more just west of there because you can see the steady snow hangs back longer around Harrisburg. But look down south. Look down south. You have a 998 millibar low right over the Florida Panhandle in Georgia. That to me, I'm not fully understanding that. The GFS has done this before, but the old rule used to be that when the European model holds things back, the GFS model is usually very out to sea. We're not seeing that anymore. Now we're noticing the GFS model is the model this winter that's holding things back. A number of times it did this. March 3rd system it did this. February 13th system it did this. And it showed a long duration event for us, which only ended up being half of the amount of time that it was supposed to be. And, well, we all know how the March 3rd system went. And I am admitting I was horribly wrong on that storm. I will take blame for that, but you know what? I wasn't the only one wrong. Everyone was wrong on that one. I mean, it was a horrible forecast by the computer models, and the Canadian model was the model that was most accurate on that. So let's go look at the 500 millibar level on the GFS real quickly, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when I mean short waves closing off and whatnot, because a lot of you may not understand that. You just understand precipitation and a surface low pressure. So if you look here over Texas, here's our energy area at 60 hours out. And right over here across the Arkansas and Louisiana, Oklahoma area, that's where our low pressure is on the GFS. So you can see they come fairly displaced. And the energy just cuts off, and that's why we have two lows. We have the southern low, and then we have this other low that gets over here to around the Tennessee Valley that gives us the snow. If, and I'm saying if, this energy was to eject at the same time and not get held back, we would be talking a memorable mid to late March snowstorm across the area. And it is possible this energy does get ejected. And I'm not ruling that out. I mean, the Canadian model, which has been very accurate recently, prior to getting a massive upgrade to the level of the European model, it's been showing an interesting scenario for several runs. Of course, some of you may have seen the mega run it had last night, and I was very disappointed to see that some people out there in the social media world actually made posts saying that's what's going to happen. No, folks, I know it had 30 inches of snow last night. No, that's not the final result. That's not going to happen. That's outrageous. It's the most outrageous model. However, what we can take home from the Canadian model is that it has been continuously showing a more northern solution, and now today the models have trended towards this more northern solution. No, it has not continuously showed 30 inches of snow. At 12 to be exact, it showed roughly around a little bit over a foot of snow for Philadelphia and New York City area, which I'm not going to say that is what will happen, but it's possible we do see 3+ inches of snow next week. We have more computer model data that will be coming in overnight, so a lot of things are going to be changing. This is a fast-changing forecast, and by tomorrow we should know more. Saturday we should know even more, and we should be able to put out a first call on Saturday. And until then, just stay focused to the forecast for Monday. It's going to be St. Patrick's Day, which is usually the luck of the Irish, and it's usually a green holiday. This year I'm expecting it to be a white holiday with at least some snow. Thanks for watching. Well, I'll have another update tomorrow. Enjoy the warm day on Saturday. Don't worry, spring will come soon.